We know that anxiety serves a purpose, so rather than eliminating it, we need to learn skills to tolerate it. So how do you help your child increase their skills? In this video, I provide ways that you as a parent or caregiver can encourage your child to tolerate anxiety and step into the discomfort. Hi and hello! Welcome to Nurturing Youth Counseling. I'm Colette, a licensed professional counselor, partnering with you in your child's social and emotional development. I answer questions about children's mental health and provide skills that I've learned while in private practice and with my own children. Come journey along with me on this roller coaster ride of life that we call parenting. Before we get into the ways that you can encourage your child to tolerate their anxiety, be sure to do these two things. First, don't wait for worry to show up before talking about it. When we're in the throes of anxiety, we're not in our logical thinking brain, but our emotional reptilian brain. This makes it harder to reason and learn. So that would not be the time to educate your child about anxiety. If you're not sure how to explain anxiety to your child, be sure to check out my videos, Does My Child Have Anxiety? Or Tips to Help My Anxious Child. I'll include them in the description box below. Second, react in a supportive manner. What does that look like? People tend to think they can only react to their child's worry in one of two ways. Option 1, you choose to coddle your child and reassure them in order to provide relief from the anxiety. This is giving anxiety exactly what it wants, comfort and certainty. Check out my video about anxiety traps to learn more. In your mind, you're doing what you believe parents should do, shielding your child and protecting them from the pain of their worry. Or option 2, you choose to disrupt anxiety's patterns with rigid rules, but come across as being mean by not allowing your child to avoid or escape from their worry. In your mind, you're doing what parents do, teaching your child how to deal with the problems worry causes. But did you know there's another option? Option 3. Choose to provide support, love, and encouragement without the rigidity of rules. At the same time, having your child experience natural consequences and do the difficult task of stepping into the worry. This helps your child learn they can handle their worry. This doesn't mean there won't be some hurt feelings or painful comments made by your child in the moment, because your child is being challenged to do something that may be difficult for them to do in the moment. But if you provide a safe, secure, and loving environment, the parent-child relationship will remain intact. So with that being said, how do you encourage your child to step into the discomfort? We know anxiety is a physiological response our body performs in order to survive. So the first tip is to expect it repeatedly. Validate your child's feelings. This doesn't have to be some long, drawn-out conversation. You could say things like, I hear you. You're not alone. We'll get through this together. It's okay to feel this way. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Would you like a hug? Be genuinely curious. Ask a few questions without any judgment or expectation. And be sure to space them out so it doesn't feel like an interrogation. Be their cheerleader and convince them they can handle their worry. This would also be a good time to share a brief example or story of how they've overcome or worked through their worry in the past. This gives them an idea of their success with previous experience of tolerating their worry. If they're feeling brave, up the ante and challenge them to stick into that comfortable feeling for a little longer. Remember, we're retraining the amygdala. The longer they can hold out in that uncomfortable feeling, the better they're going to be. Be silly. We know that humor and laughter can deflate anxious feelings. and it gives your child the opportunity to reframe and better tolerate their anxiety. What this might look or sound like. Susan always gets anxious when there's been a break or time off from school, so her caregiver expects Susan's anxiety to show up with summer coming to an end. Susan voices her worries to her caregiver about not liking school, hearing bad things about her new teacher, and not knowing who's going to be in her class this year. Susan's caregiver acknowledges her feelings and says, "I hear your worry, and I know you feel uncomfortable with things that are new or changing." Thankfully, Susan's caregiver has already done the work and front-loaded talking to Susan about her anxiety. In fact, Susan had even named her anxiety and worry Miss Bossy Pants. The caregiver curiously asks Susan if Miss Bossy Pants is around and trying to take charge of Susan. Susan and her caregiver have a little laugh about Miss Bossy Pants. The caregiver goes on to remind Susan that even with uncomfortable feelings, Susan is the one in charge. The caregiver then provides Susan with a few examples of past successes where Susan was able to tolerate her uncomfortable feelings. She tried swimming this summer for the first time and loved it. She went away to a camp for a week and didn't want to leave. She felt this way at the beginning of last school year and ended up loving her teacher and making new friends. Susan tells her caregiver she still feels uncomfortable, and the caregiver validates her feelings by saying, "I know, and we'll get through this discomfort together." Remember, her caregiver is there to support her with her discomfort rather than take it away. If you're able to use these 5 tips, then you're helping rather than hindering your child's ability to tolerate their anxiety. When you slip up, and I do mean when, don't be hard on yourself. We're all human and make mistakes. Even I get sucked into anxiety's traps and patterns. It's important to give yourself grace as you help your child navigate the waters of anxiety. Hopefully, this video was helpful for you. If so, please like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below. As always, thank you for watching. And until next time, don't forget to breathe and enjoy this roller coaster ride of life that we call parenting.